I don't know if I made this private.
I was police. That's an interesting podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
I don't know if I made this private, so we're gonna go with it even if I didn't. All right. So step one, what are we gonna do?
We're gonna clean the face.
Look
Well,
at
did you
that.
wash your hands? Yes. Okay. Look at that. But yeah, I was
Also, I look like a really weird alien. This is a good life to live. I mean, look at that. There's still no hairs there, but I'm still an alien. Also, why the fuck?
Yeah. I was gonna say before that.
This is like the third time I pushed the damn button. Turn the fuck on. Someone's gonna walk by and be like,
I do.
turn on. You were working. Make it work.
4 for 4.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Can you all see okay? We never turn the lights out. Do we need to turn the lights out? All right.
Or
I know. You don't have
And
to
then-
shut up.
Hey, hey, it's called, I don't know. It's better than just being awkwardly silent.
Well, I love
So-
the 5-color pop packs.
Shh. Listen, no, because here's the thing: is that I was in the queue line, but the queue line then refreshed itself, so that I opened another thing because then the website was about to crash. And so I actually bought it on my phone.
Damn, that's committed though.
Listen, you got to be on top. That's what happened during when I was getting MCR tickets, and those didn't happen. Here we are. All right. So, fun fact: some people have easier face shapes to do this with than others. If this does not work effectively on you, don't take it personally. It is your own face's fault. For instance, it's pretty easy for me to fluctuate back and forth. And that's, just what I have experienced because I've been doing this for a while. Now, that being said, with rounder face people, it is oftentimes harder. It just depends upon your bone structure, really, the biggest part. Now, you can go really overboard and make it happen. However, the instances that you would do this, honestly, are not that high. There's a couple roles, like if you were doing 12th night and stuff like that, where it might come in handy to do stuff like this. But otherwise, you're probably not going to change your gender very often unless you're doing drag. So the instances that you'll see the most often are drag and cosplay, right? Cosplay is all the time. However, it's going to be a lot more natural than what you will do on stage. So we're going to start out kind of in that direction, and then I'm going to completely overdo it. Drag we're not going to get into today because we have a whole day for that. Okay? And most of what we will go over during drag day is going to be female drag. I know there are drag kings, but that is not the point. We're going over drag female because it is a hell of a lot more. Okay? All right. What'd you say?
The videos on Snapchat where they turn someone into a drag queen, and like usually they get like a guy who's never done anything like this before, and also it's just really funny.
So you're fine. So typically when you do cosplay, you use powders instead of creams. A lot of people don't use creams, or they will set it and then do the powders over top. Now, I kind of do both, and then go from there. Also, let's be real. All the wig prep and stuff that we did, that's for shows. When I do cosplay, I literally don't give a half-ass fuck. like this is my wig prep and we're done. Thank you.
Yes.
Because wearing it all day versus wearing it for 2 hours is a little bit different. So you want to be as comfortable as possible and deal with it. Like, I will go to the point of shaving my head to be comfortable as opposed to wearing a wig when doing cosplay. I've done it before. So, do what you want. Do what you want. And I have a wig that I'm going to put on later that so I have to shave here and I have to shave like the whole underside of my hair because it just shows real hard. But, all right. Oh, y'all almost let me forget. Look at that. Oh God. Maybe this is what I should get instead of eyeshadow. Nah. Look at it come out. It's like, ew. I don't know what that was, but okay. Or this is dry. Also, this is going to sound terrible. You want your skin to always be nice and moisturized. However, if you wake up the night before very early and make yourself very tired, it oftentimes helps. And you see why. It's a good time. Especially right now because I am sleep deprived and having a good day. So you can definitely see those. But that's okay. They never go away. They live here. We're best friends. For my makeup?
Your dark circle.
Oh, for my dark circle. Oh, okay. This one's Steve. And this one's Willoughby. Yes. Steve and Willoughby.
Donatello, Raphael.
There you go. Oh God. But Shredder's the one that I have the like weird mole inside of. Right there.
I need more sleep. That'll be in breath.
We're in the real alien hours now. Okay, so real quick, we're gonna get into this a lot more when we get into drag, but we're gonna get into our color correcting because I got a real nasty one. So, very lightly, I have a little bit of green, and very lightly, I'm gonna take some of this, and I'm just gonna put it where I need it the most. Just to counteract the redness that's going on a little bit and get rid of it. And I don't have powder, but that's okay. So then you would powder this and then do this over it, but I'm just doing it over it because I don't really care. And we'll kind of get into that more when we do color correcting because facial tear, it takes a lot more to cover than these do. I need you to move over here. Ooh. Excuse me. There we go. Ooh. Hi.
What?
I don't look at like the underside of my bangs on my forehead, but we got some nice rosacea coming in. I'm just gonna ignore that. It's real nice red spots with like lots of bumps and dry skin.
Gotta get my little face.
I mean, Me. I was blessed with the great gift of cystic acne and rosacea as great skin conditions.
What made you want to get into stage makeup?
Listen,
Or did it just happen?
you know, yeah, that's what has happened my whole like existence. I took a sewing class one time because I wanted to know how to sew cosplay better. And now here we are. I have a degree in this. I have 2 degrees. One of the schools that I'm applying for, they're like head of their committee has a like doctorate in cosplay, and I was like, what the?
I mean, that is a
I
conversation.
have never heard of that.
I haven't either, so I'm like, all right. So now we're pretty well covered. I'm okay with it. We're having a good time. So this is where I would put my concealer on and powder, and then start to do my powder shadow. But like I said, we're not using powder for this, so it doesn't matter. So we're moving on to our best friend, our shadow.
Shadow.
Now, the important areas. So, remember when we did our thinnings out? Oh, jeepers. Our thinnings out, and you had to find your cheekbones and your temples and your jawline. All of that carries over to this. It's like they relate to each other. Look at that. So, I'm going to find my cheekbone. Now, I don't want to cut my cheekbone like I normally would, right? Because I'm not trying to make myself look more feminine or more rounded. I'm trying to be more pointed and deep, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. So if my cheekbone is right there, and starting out, I'm just going to be lining in these areas. So I've got that. And then I'm going to cut like that. Now I want this one to go over that one. I got a little up there, but that's okay. So you want like that there. Then while I'm at the same side, I'm going to go ahead and go in. And I'm going to cut a real nice jaw in there. Then, so I'm going to kind of just move across the face. So I'm going to get my temples in here and really sharpen them out. So it's really close to our thin makeup in the aspect of that you're trying to sharpen the face that way, right? You're not trying to make everything rounded. So it's a lot like that, and you want it to be a lot more deep set. All right, so here's where we get a little different though. So I'm not going to change my nose shape because my nose shape is fine as far as like the bridge. But what I am going to do is starting up here. Let me do it over here so I can get a straight line. And going down. I'm going to get a line like that. Okay, now that's going up into my eyebrow, and that's what you want. All right, so then I'm going to draw a line connecting to the eye, like so. Then we are going to go up into the socket here, and just a little out. So see how much more angular that's made that? It's all about being angular with it. And my eyebrow will be right above that, and that's what you want, okay? So I'm just going to go in, not necessarily blending it, and I'm going to kind of put those two together, okay? So that's where we're at right now. Then And I'm not trying to age myself. That's the only thing to be clear of, is you're not aging yourself. You're just kind of setting your eyes, pushing them a little further in, okay? So I'm going to get right in there. And then I'm going to do just a little bit up under the eye there, okay? A little bit more. Just like that. Maybe move that. There we go. All right. So then, okay, so I really like dimple chins, and I refer to them as butt chins. I love butt chins, okay? Listen, butt chins are great. So I always like to give myself a butt chin when possible, so we're doing it. I made a girl cry about it, so I'm like really like, but I'm saying it in a nice way. And this is going to be the only spot that I leave rounded. In this. What are y'all over there whispering about? No, what'd you say? Share it with the class.
Dropped her phone. I said, "You got it."
Mm.
It was really not that exciting.
Okay, so now I'm going to go in. I'm going to darken my nostrils a little bit. And again, not aging myself. I'm going to give myself just a little bit there. Okay? I also don't want to be angry. That's the other thing. This is going to get angry real quick if you're not careful. You can make yourself look real mean. As you can't tell, I already look like I'm going to like come and like beat you down.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Oh.
But I wasn't aiming that at anyone. Don't take that literally. Uh-huh. All right. So then we're just gonna repeat the process. And I'm just kind of gonna do lines so you can see that a little bit better, just to get the sharper lines without any blending real quick. I always feel like I look like a really weird painting when when I draw myself like this.
Oh my God. Not what I heard. That's not what I thought was said.
That's not what I thought.
I thought it was D-O-L-L-Y. That's what I heard.
And I thought it was yeah, and I was like,
I thought it was like a straight up like doll. And I was like, what are you going?
Yeah, it's for the context. Why you said you're making yourself look like a doll. You know, my mind thinks doll.
I know a lot of things.
Wow. Do you all have to do the painter one? I got rid of one of the painting ones. I think I got rid of the impressionism one. I don't remember. It's been months since I wrote that. It's fine. All right. So now I've kind of replicated that over there, right? So we're pretty even. That's okay. Like I said, it's not about being symmetrical, right? It's not all about being symmetrical. You can be a person that has weird facial features. That's okay. So real quick, I'm also going to do one line on the forehead there, and then one line above that. It's because it dips in more.
yeah.
So look at that. Look how everyone's like
rolling.
And then, just because I like to like make my nose look a little cuter, I'ma just
Oh, cute. This little button.
go down here. You'll see why in a minute. Because when I do this, I strive to be a teenage boy, not a man.
I'm so excited.
Because one day when I turn 30 in 3 years, it will not be acceptable for me to be a teenage boy anymore. However, I'm gonna milk the fact that I look like a 12-year-old and it's gonna be fine.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so now that we've got all that, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna shade this out. Now I am using the same side as my foundation because I do want to shade it in quite liberally, right?
So we're not gonna do like a white test with this one, right? Because
I mean, we still will. We're gonna do it for everyone
Okay.
because, you know, like I've said a million times, being heavy is not wrong. Being light is not wrong. But it's just nice to see comparison wise. Now, for this line in particular, I know I've already shaded it out and that's okay. That's what I wanted. I'm gonna go in on top of that. Where did that other brush go? There we go. I was like, that is not the right brush. But I dipped it in there anyway. There we go. And I'm gonna get a little more in there. And I'm gonna puke. Okay.
I'm
oh, this is really oh.
Now,
Incorrect.
That was a different brush. That was Abby.
all right.
Process is always just so much fun, okay?
Yeah.
They're like, huh? It's fun.
I'm just listening to y'all have a dead ass conversation about whatever the fuck you're talking about. And it's weird. I'm just gonna be straight up.
Thank you. I've never said anything that I think.
Well, that's a good thing. That you never gave that disclaimer. Because it's not. But see how natural that side is? Now that it's like, it's almost even like, you know, this would be okay. This would be all right. But it's obviously just very creamy and very cakey, and I would never go outside like this. Because it's not a good time.
So would it be considered too blended, or would we have to do anything else?
For on stage would be okay.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but like in person, like if I were to do this, like for me just to wear it around, I would know.
Yeah.
But like I said, powder does great things as far as that goes. But you know, you work with what you're given. I will say I have used this foundation quite a lot for this because it does grab onto the powder really well and it stays all day really well. Although my skin hates me for it afterwards. You know, we live a life. We live the best life. All right. Now, that one that I had here, all I did was take it and I'm gonna basically pull it down into there, right? And that's gonna give me a nice shape like that. Now, if you wanted to be real rugged, you could break your nose and have all that mess, but I don't know. We are okay. Yeah. No, we're really gonna just walk over there and just like have a good time. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Now I'm completely almost blending out my chin, but that's okay because I'm gonna go back in with the highlight and a couple of other things to kind of pop that out in a little bit. But for right now, it is working. All right. I look so tired. Okay. Now you know how I actually feel all the time. Look at You're right. All right. So now that I've done all my shadows, we're going to go in with highlight. And this is going to be right on top of that jaw, not jaw, cheekbone. Also right on top of the jaw. I'm going to get just a little bit right there. Not to cut this line that I have off, but just right there. Underneath it, sorry. I'm going to go in the inner corner of the eye. Because even though my eyes are set further back, my eyelids are not. Just like when we have wrinkles, they are coming back out. And I'm going to drag it up into that angle that I cut earlier and really just get that out. Now, depending upon your eye shape, if you have hooded eyelids, you will not go as high because your hooded eyes will sink back further. So you would just have the shadow and just put this on the eyelid. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit right there to pop that out and get a little bit underneath the line I did earlier. Why are you doing this? Thank you. Ooh, my nose line is crooked. Hi. A good trick when you're trying to make straight lines onto your face is to not move the brush, but move your face. And then I'm going to highlight just on the tip of that there and a little bit underneath where I had that shadow from earlier. So you see it goes like here, there, and there, right? Then just under the eyebrow area where I will be placing those momentarily. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So if you are doing your eyebrows, you would not necessarily do what I just did, but it's so that you won't be able to see it over the shadow. So just underneath the eyebrow, you're gonna take the highlight just to pop them out from the underside, okay? That's the function of what this is doing. Just a lot more. Okay. Just remember, I'm also gonna highlight in the temples. And then I'm gonna carve that dimple in real nice. There. Like that. I'm also gonna take this and I'm gonna completely cover my lips. A mood. Oh, they're so dry. We have regrets. The dry lip regrets. All right. Then just to the inside, just like when we do our old age and stuff, I'm just gonna pop that out there. And I like to blend this part in with my fingers. You can still use your sponge, but I just like using my fingers because it keeps me from messing it all around because I've gotten everything so smooth. So it's just pretty much doing the same thing. And I need to go back over that spot because it was very small. So I will in just a second. And I'm just gonna get this. The first person that ever taught me how to do makeup yelled at me for using my fingers. And I don't agree.
So we're not putting highlight on things?
Not yet. As long as you wash your hands, you should be fine to use your fingers. Now, that being said, wash your damn hands. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back in with my shadow. Maybe, yes. And where I eliminated these spots a little bit just because it's a small area, I'm just gonna go back in and carve them in a little bit. And then tap them out. There we go. All right. So now, and we've kind of done this a couple of times at this point, but this is going to be something you're going to have to get used to, especially the ones of you that are extremely pale, which is almost all of you. Is that you are going to have to get used to using white as part of your highlights. So I'm going to go in with that there a little bit and bring it up a little bit more. And then over where I kind of did the other ones before, get a little bit more in there. And here's where, just a little bit, I'm going to get a little bit of this in here. Just because the forehead is not like a super big like indentation, but enough to where a little bit of this diffused out does the job. All right. Then we're going to blend that out. What a good time. All right, where is my pencil? I'm gonna lift this up, it's gonna fall. I'm sorry. So you can use your brown pencil for this, but I'm gonna use the black pencil just because it's here. And get that real deep point in there. Then I will take my shadow and layer into that more. And try and even them out. And see how much of a difference that's made already? Look at that. We're having a good time. Now, you can take your tiny little pencil or any kind of pencil, but I have this handy dandy thing called hair mascara in the color that I almost need. And so I'm gonna use it for my eyebrows. Look at that. Now let's hope it's not super watery because it's been a while since I've used it. Yeah, it's a little watery, but we're here. Now, you want to do your eyebrows even if you have eyebrows. You want to make them a lot thicker. So I could stop here and this would pass, right? But I'm gonna go like a lot thicker because we need to.
Yes.
All right. Now let's see if I can copy it.
Sister, please.
More like cousin.
Sorry.
I did it.
Okay. So this did most of the work for me. Now I'm gonna go in with that tiny little brush that I have, my little tiny baby brush in red. But that's just for me right now. You don't have to use red. You can use brown. You can use black. It doesn't matter.
Yes, do it. Imagine I was like, oh, well, woo.
Just
And I'm gonna mix in a little bit of the yellow.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. We're really good.
Listen, hair does a lot, real quick. Hair does a lot.
we have enough to do.
All right. We're pretty even. We're even enough to call it good. Now, this is where it's gonna get fun. Good time. Good time. I don't even know if this is still good. The answer is probably not. Nope. Because all of my good liquid liners in my other kit. Nope. When you have 80 million makeup kits and it's a great time. All right. So here we go. I'm going to take eyeliner. You can use any kind of eyeliner. I know it's a little like, but just on the outer portion of the eye, just to kind of pop it out a little bit more, because even though I've sunk it in the front, the back is still open, right? So we do want to pop that out a little bit just for a little more visibility. And just like that. So I'm stopping about halfway through the pupil area. Okay. What am I not doing? Which means I'm not pulling on it.
Oh, okay.
Don't pull on your eyes. I'll scream. I won't scream, but you know, you could. All right.
We're scared for it.
Now, this is one that I wear regularly, but it looks like ass without a hat on because it does some weird shit. I mean, I have a hat right here. That's why I brought it.
Yeah, I was like, wait, you have that.
It's like I thought about it.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh.
this looks a little crazy. What are you doing? Why do you do this?
Dang.
And see how much that like instantly
Yeah.
goes different?
Yes.
But see, that's the thing, is you have to have all the different components to make any of it work. Like you can't just, you know, half-ass it. Right?
Yeah.
Y'all are like shook right now. It's like,
Yeah, it's kind of, I was like, oh, okay,
now,
Trick them off with.
I never got that. Anyways.
so this will be an example of something that you definitely have to be lighter with makeup because it really shows with this one. I'll show you how different it is. This one's a little different. So like I'd usually take like blush and do some freckles and have a good time with this, but I'm not going to right now. But we're gonna do this. Oh, do not come off. Excuse you, sir.
Oh.
There we go. Oh God. And this is the one I have to shave my head for, so if my hair comes out, I'm sorry.
Listen,
Oh yeah, with like the eyebrows. Automatically.
They're so red.
They're just so much.
So see, like everything is a lot with this one. This is one that you definitely have to be more subtle with and a lot more careful with. So, but while we have this on, we're going to go in a completely different direction. So we've talked about how to do your eyebrows. Now we're going to move on. You don't have to do this. This is completely up to you whether you would like to do it or not. Oh God. All right. So I have a little shadow on my stipple sponge. Now, the same way we laid the beard the other day, you're going to start from the bottom and work your way up. You want to be very careful because you can go too dark too fast and you're going to end up not cute. I'm going to show you that on the other side, but for right now, we're going to be cute. Now, we don't want this to form into a hard line. So you can kind of see it's varied in the way that it's laid, right? Woo! I can't see. But like this. Because right, it doesn't go in a straight line.
Yeah.
You only do that when you go and get it done. So it's going to grow in ridges, okay?
Okay.
So that would be the way you would lay down the base of it. Now, if you want to go even further, there's a way to do it. There's a couple ways. Our magical, same thing, yes. However, first step, so you can do it with just a tiny brush if you want to. You could use a liquid liner for this, like a brown or a black. And you could go in and you could lay in individual hairs. Kind of like what we talked about the other day. Like so. So it's really subtle, but it looks really natural, right? Okay. Or go in like that. And then go in and clean it up a little and add some different colors into it. You don't want it all to stay on the same plane still. We're trying to like variate. Now it is good to do the stipple sponge underneath this because that is going to give you like a base to go off of, right? And see how much like that just looks like tiny hairs.
Yeah.
It's a good time. Now you obviously try to go a little bit shorter than that, but it doesn't really matter. Now, when people are doing this, they usually stick to the jaw area, and this is a little far up, but you know, we're here. We're having a good time. We're buff. We're happy. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like when you fuck it up.
Yeah, great.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh. That hurts already.
Now, you laugh, but tell me I'm wrong. Because that happened in literally 2 seconds, right? You can screw it up that fast. So be small and be loud. All right. One other thing, huh? Motivational. We'll go with that. One thing that you can do is take your lip liner pencil and very thinly go on the inside of your lips just to give it a little bit of color. But that would be the only, like, I'm not going to make you all like powder and blush and everything else and stuff like that. It's just about getting the face shape. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, who's my victim? Well, it's one of you two.
I know.
Come on. It won't be that bad, I promise.
It's a good time.
Let me look like somewhat of a human real quick though. Give your kit.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. This is not the Disney hour. Oh God.
Are you sure you want to?
Huh?
My brushes are a little dirty.
That's okay.
Or
Don't roast you too hard. Well, that's gonna be hard. I wish we had a taller chair. Briar,
No.
go get one of those chairs.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.
You want my hair back?
Yeah.
Okay, what are all doing?
I have a wig for you too. Nice. A different wig.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez. Oh, please. Over here. Jacob, did you say you have a class after this class?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna go get sushi after this.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you'll wipe it off.
Guess I
You'll
can
be
just wipe off the paper.
fine. Because my only thing is I'm probably gonna have to do drag makeup on you. Which,
I was gonna volunteer.
okay, it's gonna take a lot though. Once she gets up here with the chair. Yes, we'll set it over here. Actually, I'll set it over there because I'm gonna be over here. You got the stool?
I stole it. What do you want? Where do you want it?
In front of the computer. Goes over
Behind the
there.
camera.
Okay. It's not a whole lot taller, but it's better. All right.
Laptop.
I'm surprised it still works.
What are the specs?
Ridiculous.
Ridiculously good or ridiculously
Good.
bad? Okay.
Good. It also has 2 terabytes of storage in it.
Oh. Damn.
And it only cost me like $1,200 for 2 terabytes. Yes. And that was additional. So
What games do you play?
not a whole lot anymore. We used to play like TF2 and stuff all the time. I'm gonna use one of my sponges so you can.
Kind of feel like I look like Jon Snow right now.
We used to play TF2 a lot, and Fantasy Star 2, if you know what that is. Fantasy Star.
No.
It's a Sega game.
Okay.
It was really big on the like Dream.
For my time.
Don't say it like that. Is this the one that you normally use
Yeah.
as your foundation? Alright, this is the lighter one. Yeah. All right. Shut the poop up.
Oh,
You heard me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna be rude, but
I was just being.
all right. So you already did everything to your face, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So with this, to help me counteract the fact that I'm gonna have to do a lot of highlighting, I'm gonna use the shades you normally use for foundation, and then add in the lighter shade of foundation, which is a good time. So all of the places that I know that are going to be darker, which are cheeks, jaw, where? Uh-huh. All the places that you should normally. What?
Darken.
Yes. I was like, what?
Might have a little stuff.
You're okay.
Not as bad as Tyler.
He was so fuzzy.
At least like mine grabs in.
That was the running joke.
I had to feel it on my face too. I had to kiss him for a scene.
Oh,
I'm like, when will you shave?
and he was super fuzzy.
Mhm.
Oh.
There was a time.
Yeah. So I have all brown
I mean, I'm probably covered in cat hair, so I'm sorry.
I'm used to it. My friend has 2 cats in her apartment. Every time I stay the night, I let them save me.
What?
What? Yeah, it's fun to say.
What is it? What is the same as what?
I think
Drag is the same as?
Being mean to a child.
I agree. I agree.
I think a bigger story for my secret.
It could be really fun. I think.
What, drag makeup or being mean to a child? Because I like both.
I wasn't trying to
Being mean to a child with drag.
I don't know.
On you or on the child?
I was gonna say on the child, that's a rare find.
Okay, can you see the difference in the foundations?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm basically highlighting with it already. Listen, I'll yell at a child in drag makeup all day. I hate children. I was say, so a thing, I don't know if I've told you, I hate children with a burning passion inside of myself.
Really? Okay.
If a child runs up to me, I'll be like, "Ah." Okay, look up.
I mean, I would.
Nope, I'd push it over and kick it.
I also like the
It-
one where like the part of your
The child has no gender. What are you talking about?
It's still a human.
Is it?
Alright, fair. Fair point. I did PLT. They're mean.
No, I did children's theater for like 4 years.
Oh god.
And I'm very nice to
I
children.
know, they hit different.
And they love me.
Oh, same.
And I want them to get away from me.
But once you're nice to them, they don't leave you alone.
Nope.
They are mean.
I think they know everything in the world. Yeah, they act like they just.
You know who's the worst? High schoolers. I hate high school.
I will say elementary school kids know all your insecurities. And they will say them out loud.
Yeah, I think middle school. They have that.
It's so big. What are you not picking work on?
Yeah. Okay, I hate most stages in a child's life. Yet I want one to so bad.
Oh god.
Because I don't get, I mean, just like, yes.
Maybe you wanna-
Hold that, you're like, well, this is my child.
I got that.
That's so
It's like, fuck out. I'm like terrible.
All right. So the face has foundation. Can you see the lights in the dark? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Wow.
Now we are going to exaggerate that. It's a good time. No, I worked at Lagoon during, what was it, Frightmares? No, wait. Yes. Is that what that one's called?
Yeah, the Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've done another one and that one's Halloween. So, but I worked there for that and I got yelled at by a bunch of high schoolers who thought they knew how to do makeup. And I was like, do you want to fucking do the airbrush? Because you can. Here you go. I'm done. Y'all can have your fun. Bye. They're little bitches.
Was it worth the pay?
It was alright. It wasn't
I
bad.
don't want to go too long.
I ate there half the time and their food was good. So, alright. So instead of doing the shadow first, I'm going to do the highlight first this time.
Wow.
Alright.
Alrighty, guys.
Now, pretty much all of the areas that we focused on with shadow last time, we are going to
Highlight.
Highlight.
look at that. It's like there's a theme here.
You gotta get rid of my collection.
I don't think so. I might.
Bless.
We'll see when we get there. So, the other thing is we want to, what do we want to do to the face?
Round it.
Yes. We want to round the
Soften
face.
it, round it.
Yes. So I'm going to take the cheekbone. I keep getting your hair.
Yeah.
It's okay. I just want you to know that you have makeup in your hair.
Oh, I know, it's all good.
Whose hair's up? It's a little tiny.
I
little
have
baby one.
curly hairs. It's a time.
Do you want scrunchies?
You can leave.
I would have 2 scrunchies in my hair.
And then we're gonna move the temples out just a little bit. If I hear one more of you go, I'm gonna come out there and ouch the roof. Okay, we're gonna soften the chin and the jaw area. Abby.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't paying attention.
I know.
I wish she's on this.
Okay, turn towards me. And then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sharpen the nose a little bit.
Okay. Is it going into the eyebrow like the other version, or is it not gonna?
It's gonna round instead of going angular. So like this. So instead of coming up here, right? Instead of going up there, we're going rounded underneath.
12 hours, 7:30. 12 hours.
Y'all are a mess.
Yes, I know.
Do you hear that? 12 hours of stuff.
Oh, I did.
30 minutes of filming.
We're gonna keep it.
It's part of my identity.
I did make a girl cry about it once. I was like, I don't mean it in a bad way. It's wrong.
No. Elections are cool.
Apparently she was fighting for it, and I was like, they're dicks.
There's a lot of words to sound.
They said cry, so that's what I remember.
That sounds pretty similar as well. Pretty good.
Now you're paying attention. All right. So now I have done the under eye area, above the cheekbone. I have done the jawline. I have done the nose and the forehead and the temples. Right? I think I did this one. I didn't do that one. You're so proud. Look at you. All right. So now we're going to blend that out. And I am not going to use the side with the foundation on it because I do not want to mix that in. We're not trying to soften that in. Okay. They're just over there having a nice conversation.
Are you sure it's nice?
I don't know. Okay, look up from that. I'm gonna get right up in your eye. Okay, turn your head like, there we go. Emma's not in this class to yell at them. Shut up. Y'all sitting in here drawing, having conversations on your cell phone. I know this is not the most entertaining to watch. But when y'all have to do it,
I didn't teach you that
and you never gonna do this to a man? Mm-hmm.
I'm the test subject.
So,
I wasn't on my phone when I was the test subject. Hello, this is what.
No, I'm not.
Oh, I thought it was.
I was talking about, there's a document that I was.
Not
You
really.
tried.
Bye guys, I'm leaving. All right, so now that's blended out. It's nice and smooth and pretty, right?
everybody.
Mhm.
Like,
We were talking about that.
Mhm.
No, you weren't.
You should be paying attention.
I said it was.
You're talking about 12 hours of setup and 30 minutes of filming.
Yeah, I can listen.
But the thing is you're telling on yourself. I can hear you. I turn around and you're like, I'm listening.
No, I just said
Sure.
Come on, Brad, you can't.
Hey, I know.
Okay, so I've highlighted everything. I blended that out, right? We have a nice like lighter spot on the face. That's what we want in these areas to really pop them out and make them look softer, right? So now I'm gonna go in and I'm not gonna put too much shadow, but just enough to really bring those forward. Because we're not doing drag necessarily at this point, right? Like we are, but we're not. It's not theatrical drag. We'll get there. And I'm just gonna get a little bit in this outer corner of the eye just to kind of show that that's the end because I have a lot of highlight there and that's gonna get lost real quick. Okay, turn your head this way. I'm gonna go over the top of the hairline here so that we can kind of get rid of a little bit of the forehead.
Good luck with mine.
Oh, listen, it'll do what I want. Then we're gonna shape the nose just a little bit. And give a little bit more definition in there. Y'all are trying today.
Gotta keep the dimple.
Let me turn this way. Let me get. So now I am going to take the foundation side of the sponge and we are going to blend that out. And I'm going to blend it up into the highlight a little bit, turn that way, so that we get that nice rounded edge there, okay? Y'all are trying so hard.
Try what?
I don't know, but you're trying it. Mm-hmm.
Hey, at least we're asleep.
Oh, God, Tyler.
I don't know. You're one to talk.
Oh,
Tyler did fall asleep during stagecraft the other day.
Tyler falls asleep when you look at him.
You know that stagecraft
For the whole time.
What's wrong with him?
I called him out every time in class in front of everyone, like 5 times, and he would still fall asleep 2 seconds later. It doesn't
He's a
matter.
committed man.
Listen, but that was me in college too, so I can't say a word. Mm-hmm. Okay, keep your eye closed.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure Tyler was sewing one day and fell asleep.
Yeah, he totally was. It was hand stitching.
Yep.
And he fell asleep. Well, yeah, just like, oh, yeah, I'm okay. And it was like, are you good?
That takes skill.
He was like, no. But it was also during his show, so. I think he had a little bit.
He is in another show right now.
I don't know if that's an excuse.
It was.
I don't accept that as an excuse.
What about his stepmom playing dubstep at 3 a.m.? That's not a lie.
I
It's a
also
real-
don't accept that as an excuse.
I'll let him know.
He knows. He still, if I look at him, he gets nervous.
Yeah, that's true.
And he apologizes for what? I don't know. He's told on himself. He's done
I
something.
know.
Okay, look this way for me.
It's good time.
All right. So you can already see how much softer we are, right?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Now you're sucking up. All right. However, we are going to do blush. I'm not going to do eyeliner on you because I don't want to fuck with the shit. But we are going to do blush and we are going to do lips. Because how the facial hair is the giveaway for the other, this one is more reliant on the extra features, right? Oh, I hate this thing. Okay. Now I want to make the lips a little fuller, so what do I do? Look at that. It's like you pay attention at some point. Mm-hmm. I'm just giving you all a lot of shit. You know that, right?
Oh yeah. 100%.
Okay. I do want you to pay attention, but I'm not gonna like kick you out of class unless I have to. But that's up to you. You all may be used to it, but they may not be.
Nope, they just
Oh,
got
so
to
you
use
got
it.
that energy? Yeah, no, that is.
Hmm.
No one's.
I don't think you're used to it until you've had me at 9 in the morning.
Yeah, very true.
So now we've really overlined them. They're living their best life, having a good old time. However,
What about my brows?
we're gonna get there.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay. I'm gonna go in and clean them up just a little bit with the brush so that they're not so like clowny. Like I said, we're not doing drag yet, so don't get carried away. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of highlight on here and we're gonna get in there and give them shape. All right. Oh my goodness. Y'all are like real crackhead hours right now, and I don't know if I can handle this.
What?
You know what? I can't get defensive about that.
What was the phrase we used before crackhead energy?
I don't know. Crackhead hours?
Or before that?
Like right now? Or like,
Like in the world?
oh, dumb. I don't know. I don't know.
Hyper.
There it is.
Hyper, yeah.
All right. So I don't want to necessarily thicken the brows. I just want to give them a little more shape. This pencil is not your friend.
It's a little dull.
Hold on. Let me come over. Hey, look at the lid.
So, how you doing? Okay.
What are you all talking about now?
You have the floor.
Oh, okay. Well, you just said that it was dull, and I went like you, and then stop. Yeah, great. There you go. That's the joke.
That was bad.
I didn't say it was good. I just said it was stupid. So.
So you all will have to do makeup on each other at one point when we get further along. So a good way to keep your hand steady is to anchor it on somewhere. You can either use both hands or you can do it on the side of the face. Now that being said, you don't want to like get makeup everywhere, but like doing it like this and using it. Or sometimes I'll use my hand on the shoulder and then take my other hand and then use it like that.
His face.
It's funny, right? You should see it without makeup.
You just messed up the eyebrow. Hold on. Now, we don't want those eyebrows. And you know what eyebrows I'm talking about. I saw this lady the other day, and she had put her eyebrows on so hard that she had a unibrow.
Oh no!
And it was not natural. I'm here for natural unibrows. But this was like a drawn-on unibrow. Don't do that. That was really bad. All right. I'm only going to do one. And you're just going to lift one eyebrow.
I've never had this much angle in the brow before.
Well, you're about to get more, so. Okay, lean your head up a little bit. There we go.
Well, you said not to be symmetrical. So.
So I'm gonna get some highlight. You know how I talked about putting highlight just under your eyebrows so you pop them out? That's what I'm gonna do right now. Bring them out a little bit. And then I'm gonna go in and clean this up a little. And then I'm going to take, because that stuff is so thick and just gave us like a pretty straightforward brow, I'm going to go in with a little bit of this highlight and just kind of break it up a little so it doesn't look
Like an expo marker.
because that's not cute either. And I'm also going to take the edge of it and just lightly feather it out just to give it a little bit of texture. All right. Look at you. Beautiful.
Wow.
Now, this is short of drag. Because once we get to drag, that's when you get to be real pretty. However, you're pretty, but you're not quite there yet. So. All right. But you know what I mean. This is not something that you would necessarily do. You just want to do it. If you're gonna do women, pretty much nowadays you put them in drag. It's just how it is. Because it looks nicer. You look so upset. Don't be
Take it all
upset.
off.
No, you have to take it all off.
Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Nice.
So.
What? No way?
Oh wait, hold on. We do have a wig. I forgot the wig.
Yeah.
Dang,
With your one.
almost got away with it. You want me to take these out?
No, you can leave it. Oh, it's
No, this is it, man.
yeah.
I've always wondered.
You've always wondered. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Hi.
oh,
Oh,
oh.
y'all are a mess. Okay, turn this way. Why are you so far back? Go the way. There we go.
Okay, see.
Hold on, we're gonna put it that way because your eyebrow is over here.
Yeah.
Your one eyebrow.
Oh, you're going like seam bangs.
I mean, bangs. There you go.
Wow.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. You look so upset.
No, I'm just doing like the.
The pen. Oh, okay. But anyway, so like I said, you would do drag because drag's a lot prettier, right?
I feel like this lady would have a really deep voice.
I feel like this lady would have a giant Saint Bernard dog that
Oh, yeah.
walks on Tuesday night.
Name Beethoven.
Places.
My Face ID won't work anymore.
All right. So there we go.
yeah.
And I think our next demo is drag, if I'm right.
Yes.
So we're gonna talk about that real quick because we got another 20 minutes. You can go ahead and keep that one. Unless you want to keep it on, that's up to you. No. So for your
All
drag,
right.
I'm gonna give you a list of. You can just rip it off, honestly. It's fine. I'm going to give you a list of drag queens. Now, you can only pick one off of said list.
Do you want me to end the stream?
Huh?
Do you want me to end the stream?
Yeah, you can. So, when I post it,